돌아가니까. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to every man, Jack of you. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to all and sundry. How are you people doing today? Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. This is a very own KMD Yunus professional spoken English trainer from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Come on. Come on, all you people out there, I'm back. I'm live again. I'm in flush today. Come and join me in large number. Don't be chicken. Don't get a brain answer. Don't panic. Come and join me in large number. I'm live again. I'm back again. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to every man, Jack of you. Good afternoon to all and sundry. Good afternoon to one and all. How are you people doing today? How are you? How are you? How are you people doing today? And the answer is, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? Come and join me. Come and just get connected with me live today. Come and join me large number. And if you wish to get connected with me, you need to answer the simple question, Maureen, how are you doing today? And the answer is, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to every man, Jack of you. Good afternoon to all and sundry. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back again. I'm back again. And this is your very own KMD Yunus professional spoken English trainer from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. What are you people waiting for? Come and join me in large number. All you people out there, come and join me in large number. In order to get connected with me live today, you need to answer the simple question of mine, how are you people doing today? And the answer is, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? I wanted people to type this answer right away. Come on, what are you waiting for? Answer the simple question of mine and get connected with me. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my domain. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. I'm live again. I'm back again. Come and join me in large number. All you people out there, come on. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening. How are you people doing today? How are you people doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all and sundry. Good afternoon to every man, Jack of you. Good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my domain. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. I'm live. I'm back. back again. Well, as far as my previous live sessions are concerned, remember, talking about this concept, and let me run the concept by you again. And the concept I'm talking about is this. Is it right on my part to say myself, KMD Yunus? Myself, KMD Yunus, and I am from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Is it right on my part to say myself? Myself, KMD Yunus, myself, Ravi, myself, Ronnie. I get to hear this. I get to hear this quite often. I get to hear this expression, myself, people using it quite often. Well, let me tell you one thing, my dear listeners. Let me tell you one thing, my dear viewers. Let me tell you one thing to all you people out there. Myself, KMD Yunus, or using myself, the beginning of a sentence, using myself as a subject of a sentence is grammatically incorrect, grammatically wrong, grammatically inappropriate. Yes, you heard me correct. Mind it. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a Himalayan blunder to use myself at the beginning of a sentence. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a serious mistake. It's a Himalayan blunder to use myself as a subject of your sentence. Remember one thing, that myself comes into the category of reflexive pronouns. Yes, you heard me correct. Myself comes into the category of reflexive pronouns. Well, we have many reflexive pronouns. And one fine day, I promise you that I would definitely talk about all those reflexive pronouns in detail. For time being, I'm talking about this concept here. I am talking about the sentence here, which is very, very strongly engraved on the minds of all those PCAs, of all those students who have just started communicating in English. Let me tell you one thing that is absolutely wrong and important. Say myself, KMD Yunus. Never ever use myself. Well, you have other options. You can go with those options. My name is KMD Yunus. I am KMD Yunus. This is KMD Yunus. It's KMD Yunus, but it's not myself, KMD Yunus. It's wrong and important to use reflexive pronoun as a subject of your sentence, the beginning of your sentence. Remember, myself is a reflexive pronoun, and we never ever use a reflexive pronoun as a subject of our sentence. Grammar does not allow you to use myself as a subject of a sentence. It can't be the subject of a sentence. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Are you out of your senses? Never ever do the mistake of using myself. I get to hear this. I get to hear this. Myself this, myself that, myself Eunice, myself Ravi, myself Rakesh, myself Ronnie. No. Say no to this concept. Say no to myself. Because myself is a reflexive pronoun, and we never ever use it in the place of a subject at the beginning of our sentence. So say, I am Eunice. I am Eunice. This is Eunice. My name is Eunice. It's Eunice. Or you can even say my appellation is Eunice or KMD Yunus. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Come and join me live today. I'm back again. I've decided to go live today. Well, it's Sunday and it's a public holiday. Most of the schools and colleges remain closed today because Sunday is a public holiday in India. Well, all you people out there who are from United States of America, who are from UAE, United Arab Emirates, who are from Dubai, who are from Qatar, who are from Saudi Arabia, come and join me live today and learn to speak grammatically correct English. Yes, you heard me correct. Let's try to learn to speak grammatically correct English. I keep telling my students that English is categorized into two, grammatically correct English and grammatically incorrect English. I don't want you people to learn to speak grammatically incorrect English. I want people to learn to speak grammatically correct English. Here I am with another option here. Here I am with another concept here. Now what is this concept I'm talking about? How many of you have the habit? How many of you have the habit of saying, I go to home? How many of you have the habit of saying, he goes to home? I go to home, he goes to home, he went to home, I went to home. How many of you have this habit of saying, I go to home? How many of you have this habit of using preposition with home? I go to home, he goes to home, I went to home, he went to home. Well, let me tell you one thing. We never ever use to preposition with home here in the examples. I go to home is grammatically incorrect because we never ever use a preposition with home, because in this sentence or in these sentences, home is used as an outward. Yes, you heard me correct. Hope I'm making myself absolutely clear, and hope I'm making myself heard clearly. We never ever do the mistake of using to preposition in all these examples here, in all the sentences here. Let me tell you one thing, that it's grammatically wrong and important to say I go to home. Never ever say I go to home, always say I go home. We don't need a preposition here. Well, how many of you have the habit of saying, I go to outside? I go to outside. We never use a preposition here. We simply say, I go outside. He goes to outside. We never say he goes to outside. We simply say, he goes outside or he went outside. How many of you have the habit of using preposition in this sentence? I go to upstairs. I go to downstairs. Well, we never ever use a preposition here because we're talking about the direction here. He went to upstairs, he went to downstairs, I went to upstairs, I went to downstairs. In all these examples, in all the sentences, grammatically wrong to use preposition to. The right sentences are, he went upstairs, he went downstairs, I went upstairs, I went downstairs, I went outside, he went outside, I went home, he went home, I get home, he goes home. Never ever do the mistake of using preposition in all the sentences, because grammatically wrong to use a preposition here, because the word home is used as an adverb here. Hope the concept is clear. Hope the concept is clear. Well, this is my second concept. The first concept to remember talking about on live session today is not using myself as a subject of your sentence or the beginning of your sentence. It's grammatically wrong and important to say myself, KMD. Never ever do that mistake. I get to hear this. Well, I get to hear this from professors, associate professors, and assistant professors, from all the teachers, all those people. I get to hear this from them, and I see these people committing mistake, and I want you people not to commit the same mistake here. It's grammatically wrong. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a Himalayan blunder to use myself, which happens to be a reflexive pronoun, as a subject of your sentence or at the beginning of your sentence. I hope I'm making myself absolutely clear. If I'm making myself absolutely clear, I want you people to send me a thumbs up. Come on. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to every man. Jacob, you come and join me live today. This is a very own professional spoken English trainer from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Come and join me in large numbers so that we can have a friendly conversation for the next hour. Next, an hour. Come on. The second concept, remember, talking about is it's wrong in your part to use preposition with home. It's not right in your part to say, I go to home. You simply say, I go home. He goes home. Where did he go? He went home. Where did you go? I went home. Where did your brother go? My brother went home. Where did your sister go? My sister go home. In all these examples, I'm not doing the mistake of using preposition to here because I know that the word home is being used as an adverb here. I never ever do the mistake of using preposition with these sentences. I never say he went to outside. I simply say he went outside. He went outside. He went inside. I never say he went to inside. He went to outside. He went to upstairs. He went to downstairs. No. No. It's grammatically incorrect. Come on. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all and sundry. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to every man. Check if you come and join me in large number. Come on, all you people out there. Get connected with me by answering this simple question of mine. How are you people doing today? And the answer is, I am doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? Well, the answer is, well, very simple. All you got to do is just start this answer and get connected with me like today so that we can have some sort of conversation for the next an hour. Come on, all you people out there, I'm waiting for you. How are you people doing today? The answer is, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? Well, I remember talking about the first concept. I remember talking about the second concept. Let's talk about the third concept here. The third concept is, I listen music. You listen music. He listens music. Well, in all these three examples, we need to use a preposition here. I listen music. You listen music. He listens music. You better say, I listen to music. You listen to music. He listens to music. Yes, you heard me correct. I want you people to pay close attention to the third sentence here. Why do I want you people to pay close attention to the third sentence here? Because I need to explain a concept which is hidden here in the third example. He listens to music. Now, if you pay close attention to the pronunciation of this word, listens, well, in the first sentence, so the first example is just listen, and the second example is just listen, and the third example is not just listen for your kind information, all you people out there. It's listens, listens, listens. Well, I am adding s or es after the verb in the third example because I'm talking about third person singular he. I am talking about third person singular he. I hope the concept is absolutely clear. I hope the concept is transparent here. I keep reiterating, I keep telling my students time and again that it's grammatically right on my part to add s or es after the word when I get the chance to talk about third person singular. Remember, I listen to music. I am talking about myself here. Well, myself is a reflexive pronoun. A couple of minutes ago, remember talking about myself, KMD units. I remember telling you people that it's grammatically wrong and in part to use reflexive pronoun as the subject of your sentence at the beginning of your sentence. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a Himalayan blunder. Okay, coming back to the point. I listen to music. The verb I'm using here is listen. Because I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about first person singular. I listen to music. Because I'm talking about first person singular here. I'm talking about myself. Talking about the second example, you listen to music. Yes, you heard me correct. Keep repeating out to me. Always remember one thing, that a good listener can become a good speaker, but a good speaker can be a good listener. And always remember that listening is primary and speaking is secondary. And also remember that impossible is nothing and possible is everything. I keep reiterating and I keep telling my students time and again that success is not something, progress is not something that could be pulled out of a hat. It requires a lot of hard work. Hard work alone is my watchword for my colleagues, for my students, for my listeners, for my viewers, for all you people out there. Hard work. Hard work is the key to success. The more you practice, the more you understand. The more you practice, the more easier it gets. The more you practice, the more flexible your tongue becomes, and the dexterity of your tongue improves tremendously. Tremendously. Yes, you heard me correct. I wanted people to remember rule number one. Rule number one goes like this: when you utter the same sentence, the same word, the same dialogue, the same idiomatic sentence, again and again, again and again, again and again, you learn to say it by heart. That's the best thing to do. Well, remember, I'm talking about those three sentences here, and I wanted people to pay close attention to the word I'm using in my sentences here. It's always, I listen to music. I gotta use the preposition to here. It's mandatory. It's imperative. It's compulsory. It's grammatically correct to use a preposition here. I listen to music. We listen to music. The verb I'm using here is listen. He listens to music. And if you pay close attention to the third example or to the third sentence, you just don't find listen. You also find yes or is after the word. And the concept behind it is I am talking about third person singular. I am talking about third person singular. And what does grammar tell me to do? All you people out there, are you all ears? Are you all eyes? Are you listening to me with rapt attention? I am talking about a concept here. And what is the concept I'm talking about here? Grammar wants you. Grammar wants me. Grammar wants all of us to add yes or es after the word when I get the chance to talk about third person singular. It's grammatically incorrect. It's grammatically wrong on my part to say my father go to office. No. It's wrong. Never ever say my father goes to go to office. Never ever say my father go to office. Always say my father goes to office. Remember, your father comes into the category third person singular, and the verb I'm using here is go, and go becomes goes after adding es after it. Well, there are a couple of words in English language where I gotta use es, and there are a couple of words where I gotta use yes. Frankly speaking, there are some thousands and thousands of verbs where I need to add yes, and there are only a handful of verbs in English language where I need to add es. For instance, go become goes, do become does, teach become teaches, watch become watches, fly become flies. These are a couple of verbs. Well, of course, there are a few more verbs, but they're not coming to my mind at this point in time. So it's grammatically wrong and important to say my father go to office. What exactly is the mistake in the sentence here? All the people out there, come on, type this mistake to me. What exactly is the mistake here? My father go to office. Is it right on your part to say something like this? I go to office. My father go to office. What exactly is the problem with the second sentence here? Well, the first sentence has got no problem at all. The first sentence has got no mistake at all. I go to office. There's nothing wrong in it. But I'm worried about the second sentence. My father go to office. There's a problem here. You can't simply go with word. You need to add yes or is after the word here, because you are talking about your father, mind it. You're talking about your father, mind it. My father goes to office. I go home. My father go home. What exactly is the problem with the sentences here? Is there any problem with the first sentence? Is there any correction to be made in the first sentence? I go home. Well, frankly speaking, there is no correction to be made in the first sentence, because I'm not doing the mistake of adding preposition to here. I go to home. I go to home is wrong. But my sentence is, I go home. There's no correction to be made in the first example here. Let's talk about the second example. My father go home. Now, what do you think? Is there any correction to be made in the second sentence? Is there any correction to be made in sentence number 2? Come on. Come on, type me a message. Text me a message saying that yes, there is some correction to be made on the second sentence. Yes, you got it right. There's some correction to be made in the second sentence. It's not my father go home. Look at the word. You can't simply go with the word. You need to add yes or is after the word. My father goes home. Yes, you heard me correct. So that's grammatically correct English. My father goes home. I go home. My father goes home. Do you go home? Does your father go home? Here are a couple of questions. Do you go home? Does your father go home? Do you go home? Does your father go home? I'm not doing the mistake of adding a preposition in both the questions here. Do you go home? There are 4 words. According to written English track, there are 4 words, my dear listeners, my dear students, my dear viewers. According to written English, there are 4 words. Do you go home? But according to spoken English track, there's one single word. It's a chunk, and that is do you go home? 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 Does your brother go home? Yes, I go home. Yes, my brother goes home. Do you go home? Does your father go home? Yes, I go home. Yes, my father goes home. It's grammatically wrong on my part to use preposition in these 2 sentences here, and it's grammatically wrong on my part not to use yes or is after the word when I get the chance to talk about my father. Yes, my father goes home. So these are the 3 concepts. Well, the first concept, remember, we're talking about in live session today is using myself at the beginning of your sentence as a subject of a sentence as in the first part of the sentence is grammatically wrong, grammatically incorrect. Say no to it. Say no to it. I want you people to erase this concept which is deeply and very strongly engraved on your mind. It's grammatically wrong to say myself KMD because grammar does not allow you to use reflexive pronouns in the beginning of a sentence as the subject of your sentence minded. Say no to it. So that's the first concept. Remember, we're talking about. Well, the second concept, remember, we're talking about is we never do the mistake of adding preposition to or in these sentences. I go to home. No. It's grammatically wrong. It's grammatically incorrect to use 2 preposition with home because the word home is used as an adverb here. And we never ever use 2 preposition with home in these sentences. It's grammatically wrong and important. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a humiliating blunder. Say, I go to home. Say, I go home. My father goes home. He went home. My father went home. He will go home. My father will go home. Well, I am talking about will go. I'm talking about future indefinite tense. I'm talking about indefinite future tense or simple future tense. My father will go home. I go home. My father goes home. I went home. My father went home. I will go home. My father will go home. They are going home. They are going home. This is present continuous tense, and I'm not doing the mistake of adding preposition to in this example here. Mind it. I hope all the people out there who are watching me live today or listening to me with rapt attention, and I hope the things are absolutely clear. Everything is transparent. Everything is absolutely clear. So that's the second concept. The second concept is I want you people not to use preposition with home. Say no to preposition from now onwards. Say no to preposition henceforth. Talking about the third concept here, the third concept is I wanted people to use two preposition in this example, in these sentences. I listen to music. Yes, you heard me correct. I wanted people to use preposition with these examples. I listen to music. You listen to music. He listens to music. Over here, I wanted people to pay close attention to the third sentence where I'm talking about third person singular and I'm adding S or is after the word listen. It's not listen, L-I-S-T-E-N, it's L-I-S-T-E-N-S. Listens. I listen to music. You listen to music and he listens to music. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to every man, Jacob. You welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. This is your very own professional spoken English trainer, KMD.Learn. From Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. What are you people waiting for? Come and join me in large number. Come and just get connected with me like today. If you have any sort of queries, if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, please send those questions. If I have enough knowledge to work, to solve your questions, to solve your queries, to answer your questions, I would definitely do that. Come on, just come and get connected with me like today. You gotta do a very simple thing here. You need to answer the simple question of mine. How are you doing today? The answer is I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? Just start this and get connected with me live today. Let's have friendly conversation for the next half an hour. Well, it's been more than half an hour since I've come live today. This is your very own KMD Eunice. From Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Come on, come and join me live today. I'm waiting for you. Come on, people from UAE, Dubai, people from Qatar, people from Saudi Arabia, people from Bahrain, come and join me live today. Come and join me live today. Join in large number. Don't be chicken. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't get apprehensive. Come and join me live today and learn to speak grammatically correct English. Grammatically correct concept. In my today's live session, remember, talking about these three concepts. The first concept is never ever do the mistake of using myself in the beginning of our sentence as a subject of your sentence, because myself is a reflexive pronoun, and according to grammar, we never do the mistake of using reflexive pronoun as a subject of a sentence. We never do that. The second concept, remember, talking about is never ever do the mistake of adding preposition to before home, because home is an adverb and we never use preposition in these sentences. It's wrong in a person say I go to home. Say I go home. It's wrong in a person say he went to home. Say he went home. I will go to home. It's wrong in a person say I will go to home. Say I will go home. And the third concept, the final concept, remember, talking about today is you got to use the preposition to in the sentences here. I listen to music. We listen to music. You listen to music. He listens to music. Remember, it's not just listen. It's listen plus yes or es. Listen become listens when you talk about third person singular. Your father, your brother. Please repeat after me. I keep telling my students time and again, the more you utter, the more easier it gets. The more you practice, the more easier it gets. The more you repeat, the more easier it gets. So please utter after me out loud. My father goes to office. Well, it's not my father go to office. My father goes to office. My father goes to office. My brother goes to office. My sister goes to office. I go to office. And if you pay close attention to wordless four sentences here, I go to office, only word. My father goes to office, word plus yes or es. My mother goes to office, word plus yes or es. My sister goes to office, word plus yes or es. Oh, the concept is absolutely clear. Don't forget to add s or es after the word when you get the chance to talk about third person singular. And all these people, they come into the category of third person singular. Remember, I am talking about my nose. I'm addressing my nose here. And my nose comes into the category of third person singular because I'm talking about a single nose here. I'm talking about my lip. And my lip comes into the category of third person singular. Remember, I'm talking about a single lip here. I'm talking about my finger. Remember, my finger comes into the category of third person singular. Because I am blessed with 10 fingers, I have 10 fingers, but I'm not talking about all my 10 fingers here. I'm talking about my single finger. I'm talking about my one finger. My one finger, single finger, comes into the category of third person singular. I have 2 ears. I'm talking about my single ear. I'm talking about my left ear. I'm talking about my right ear. If I'm talking about my left ear, I'm talking about third person singular. I have 2 eyes. I'm talking about my left eye. I'm talking about my right eye. When I'm talking about my left eye, I'm talking about third person singular. I have 2 hands. As you can see, I have 2 hands. If I'm talking about my left hand, I'm talking about third person singular. If I'm talking about my right hand, I am talking about third person singular. If I'm talking about my right hand and left hand, then I am talking about third person plural. If I'm talking about my right eye, left eye, and right eye, I'm talking about third person singular. So the concept is very clear. When you get the chance to talk about third person singular, your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your teacher, your friend, your daughter, your son, your nephew, your niece, you are talking about third person singular. And when you get the chance to talk about third person singular, it's always word plus yes or es. Remember, it's not my father go to office. It's always my father goes to office. My mother goes to office. My brother goes to office and my sister goes to office. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to every man, Jack of you. Good afternoon to one and all. Good afternoon to one and all in sundry. Come on, come and join me live today. This is your very own KMD unit from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Come on. Good afternoon. How are you people doing today? And the answer is I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? If you wish to get connected with me live today, you need to answer the simple question of mine. How are you doing today? And the answer is I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? What about you? Good afternoon to every magic of you. Good afternoon to all and sundry. Good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. This is your very own professional spoken English trainer from Learn English with KMD. Come and join me in large number today. I am live. I'm back again. Come and join me and come and get connected with me. In order to get connected with me, you need to answer the simple question of mine, how are you doing today? And the answer is I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? Come and join me. Don't be chicken. Don't get apprehensive. Don't panic. Don't get scared. What are you worried about and what are people waiting for? Come on, come and join me live today. Send me a message. I'm waiting for your messages. Text me a message. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon to one and all. Well, I am talking about spoken English here. And I keep telling my students that a good listener can become a good speaker, but a good speaker can't be a good listener. Listening is primary and speaking is secondary. Yes, you heard me correct. Listening is primary and speaking is secondary. A good listener can become a good speaker, but a good speaker can be a good listener. Because listening is primary and speaking is secondary. Many of you struggle very hard to communicate in English. Many of you struggle very hard and you feel that things go topsy-turvy once you start communicating in English. You feel jitters. You get nervous. You get panic. You feel like a fish out of water. Once you start communicating English, you feel like a fish out of water. Why does this happen? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever tried to figure out? Why does it happen? I'm asking this question to you people out there. Why does it happen? Have you ever tried? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever tried to figure out why does it happen? It happens due to lack of practice. Yes, the credit goes to practice. And I would like to attribute your failure. I would like to attribute your, I would like to attribute your failure to practice, lack of practice. Lack of practice. The more you practice, the more you understand. The more you practice, the more you get to know about language. You need to practice. Because practice makes a man perfect. Practice not only makes a man perfect, practice also makes a woman perfect. Well, I'd like to talk about those two words here. Man is singular and men is plural. Woman is singular and women is plural. Remember, the plural form is women. 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 Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon to everyone. Man, Jacob, you welcome. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Come and join me live today. This is your very own professional spoken English trainer from Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. What are you people waiting for? Come and join me, large number. Answer the simple question of mine. How are you people doing today? And the answer was, well, very simple. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? I wanted people to type this message right away. I wanted people to type this message immediately and get connected with me. I am doing very well. Thank you very much. What about you? Well, all you people out there, I need to tell you a joke. Well, I heard this joke on YouTube, on Instagram, and I'd like to share the joke with you. There's an Indian sitting next to Einstein. Einstein says, it's a long flight, why don't we have a competition? I ask you a question, if you can't reply, you ask me a question, if you can't reply, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Learn English with KMD, where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Well, I'm talking about the joke here. There's an Indian sitting next to Einstein. Einstein says, you know, it's a long flight. Why don't we have a competition? I ask you a question. And if you can't answer my question, give me $5. And you ask me a question. If I can't answer your question, I'm Einstein, I'll give you $500. The Indian thought, if I can't answer $5, if he can't answer $500, it's a good deal. And he says, Einstein, to go first. Einstein says, how far is the moon from the earth? The Indian thought and thought and thought and could not figure out the answer, and he simply puts his hand on his pocket and says, you know what, I don't know the answer, I don't know the exact answer, and here is your $5. The Indian says, what is that which goes up the hill with 3 legs and comes down with 4 legs? Einstein struggled really very hard through his knowledge of science, and finally he couldn't figure out what exactly he's talking about, puts his hand on his pocket and gives him $500. It's Einstein's turn now. Einstein says, before I ask you my next question, what goes up the hill with 3 legs and comes down with 4 legs? The Indian puts his hand on his pocket and gives him $5. Hope you got the joke. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Well, these are the 3 concepts, or I thought that I should teach you whenever I get the chance to come live. The first concept is never ever do the mistake of using myself at the beginning of your sentence or as a subject of your sentence, because myself comes in the category of reflexive pronouns, and we never use reflexive pronouns as the subject or at the beginning of a sentence. It's grammatically incorrect on your part. It's not a mistake. It's not a blunder. It's a Himalayan blunder to say myself, KMD units. Never ever say this, and I want you people to erase this concept that which is very strongly engraved on your mind. There's no such concept myself, KMD units. It's grammatically wrong. And the second concept to remember, talking about is never ever do the mistake of adding preposition to before home, because in these sentences, home is used in adverb. It's always right in the first say, I go home, he goes home, I went home, he went home, I will go home, he will go home, and all the sentences are not doing the mistake of adding to preposition, because I know that the word house is being used in adverb here. I'm talking about the third and final concept which I discussed today, and the concept is never ever do the mistake of not adding to preposition in these sentences here. It's not I listen music, it's always I listen to music. Yes, you heard me correct. It's always I listen to music, you listen to music, he listens to music. I want you people to pay close attention to the third example here, where it's not listen, it's listens. With that, it's time for me to call it a day, and it's time for me to take your leave. It's time for me to bid farewell. It's time for me to bid goodbye, but with a promise that we shall meet again, the same time, the same place, the same channel. Until then, keep learning and keep exploring new things. Pawan Kumar, thank you very much for joining me live today, Pawan. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it joining me. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining me live today, Pawan. Very quickly, before I wind up my today's live session, I'm coming to you, Pawan. I want you to answer the simple question of mine. If you are listening to me, how are you doing today, Pawan? And the answer is, I am doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? I want you to type this message. I want you to send this message to me right away. I am doing pretty well. Thank you very much. What about you? Thank you very much for joining me live today, Pawan Kumar. Thank you to you too. Good afternoon. I am doing fine. Thank you, Pawan. Thank you very much for joining me live today. Thank you very much, all the people out there. It's time for me to call it a day. It's time for me to bid adieu. It's time for me to take a leave. It's time for me to say bye, but with a promise that I will meet again, the same place, the same platform, the same channel. Learn English with KMD, a platform where learning English and speaking English is made much easier. Thank you very much. Do take a very good care of yourself and keep learning and exploring new things. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.